your comment to me was you were like, "Oh, nice work, young Kai. You're pretty fit for a fat lad." And I was like,
the training was really nice and easy. It was all pretty organised, and then we started sailing.
He had 3 salads.
yeah, 3 salads. No wonder he did 1,500 watts.
Yeah, he was cracking out, wasn't he?
So are you like tracking my appetite and food intake always?
Oh, Christ, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hide that bread.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Inside Tack podcast. You join us in Barcelona as, well, I always say this, but we are busy, but we are turbo busy right now. We've just done, I think, 5 or 6 days straight. We've had a little break to come up for air on a Sunday. We've now got bad weather, so we're ashore today, and then we're about to roll into a massive week of sailing and testing and getting Britannia faster again. So the 2 guests that we have with us today have got their work cut out because they are Chef Nick, the guy who fuels us and keeps us ripping all day. And we got Head of Human Performance, who's the guy who makes sure we get onto the boat ready to go, full of energy and as fit as possible. Pete Cunningham. Chaps, welcome to the Inside Tack. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you here. So basically, the way I see it is Pete rips the calories out of me every day, and then Chef Nick, you try and put them back in a healthy, nutritious manner.
Yeah.
And every time I walk past your kitchen and reach for the chalky biscuits, you give me a little whack on the knuckles.
A whack on the knuckles, and the healthy bit is that's the key word, I think, there, Freds.
Yeah,
try and keep you healthy and stay off the chocolate bars, mate.
Thanks, man. You definitely have easier people to manage and some people that are less easier to manage, and I know where I sit within that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there's definitely people who are easier to manage with their diets and stuff, but I think generally the sailing team are pretty good, actually. They sort of know, I think, and understand what. Yeah, I think
you are right. Like, just through basic knowledge, you know that the quality of the food you put in.
And I think you guys know that you're not, like you said a minute ago before we started this. You're now professional athletes, not just sailors anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to watch what you eat and stuff, and that sort of helps me out a little bit.
What you can't see, Nick, doesn't upset you, eh?
That's half the battle. We go and watch the football last night together, and him and Cornish are eating Haribo, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, what am I doing here?
Yeah, I do feel a little bit awkward when we watch England play together, and I'm on the Pringles and Haribo, having had him like, but that's the story for another time.
Sit there in blinkers.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Oh, boy, I'm sorry about that.
That's right.
Haribo will come down once the Euros have finished. I promise. And
Is that it?
And yeah, exactly. And then
that won't be long then.
Almost last night, eh?
And then Pete, you and I, Head of Human Performance, you and I go back a long way. You first did a fitness test on me when I was in the British youth squad in 1998. So let's just wind way back. I think you joined British sailing in 93.
93, yeah.
Go on then. So let's go 93 through to 2004 in under 2 minutes. This is a challenge.
This isn't doing me very many favours, making me look quite old.
Experienced.
Started in 93, straight after Barcelona, really, after the Barcelona Olympics.
Yeah.
Did almost finished the 5th Olympic cycle in 2012. Right. Sort of running the sports science team at the RYA. Moved on, did a couple cups with Artemis, starting just 2011. A couple cups there, and then sort of ended up here, really.
And a Volvo in the middle of that? A couple of Volvos?
Did a couple of Volvos with Ian Walker's Abu Dhabi team.
Yeah.
And a couple of years in Singapore with Singapore Sailing.
And
then sort of ended up here with INEOS, which is great.
Wow.
Great to be back at the cutting edge, really.
Yeah, mate. I thought we were in for like a 10-minute life story there. You literally.
I said it would be boring.
That's an impressive CV, I think. It's pretty good.
Mate, that's not bad, is it? I mean, you arguably were at the forefront of maybe even before sports science. So you kind of look at that Arsene Wenger coming into Arsenal, revolutionising the way the Premier League played football with nutrition and all of that. You were hitting sports science mid-90s as that bubble was beginning to expand.
Yeah, I think that early 90s period is when sports science. I know when I did my degree, there was only 6 places in the UK you could do a sports science degree.
Wow.
And now everybody, you can do it everywhere. It's one of those degrees they probably want to stop. But it's changed, and I've sort of I think I landed on a career just at the right time as it was sort of taking off.
Yeah.
And we're pretty serious here now. It's pretty. Intense is probably the right word. Pretty scientific. We do a lot. It's not just the training side. It's obviously with Nick as well. It's a lot. The training side's quite simple. I always think it's making sure they're ready to train, and the recovery side that's probably the skillful part.
Yes,
and that's probably where we spend most of our energies.
And how you measure that recovery, how you measure that readiness. It's that there's the scientific aspect to that as well.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, so we do, what we do, Fred. We work, particularly some of the work we're doing now with the blood monitoring stuff with Orico on as one of our partners on the the oxidative stress. They're a blood biomarker company, and a blood bioanalytical type company. They've got a fantastic platform. All our data goes on there, and it certainly gives us a pretty good idea whether we're pushing too hard and where we're recovering.
So just to give our listeners an insight into that, it's a little finger prick once or twice a week, and you measure our stress levels, how our bodies are coping with not only the training but the sailing. It kind of checks in with where we are with our nutrition as well. It's a pretty good overall marker.
Yeah, so we look at antioxidant capacity as part of it, which is really closely related.
Yeah.
I mean, crikey, we got any low antioxidant capacities, I'd be amazed, because the nutrition here is quite amazing. Really.
Oh, thank you.
That's
great. That's very kind.
You talk about the multicoloured sort of food that
Not multicoloured Haribo though.
No, they're not on the list, mate. No.
Our food's pretty amazing, really.
Thank you.
The breakfast is. In that respect is first
Very
class.
lucky.
Yeah, really
Very
lucky to have it.
And Nick, we'll sort of move on to your journey. Sort of, you were with us in Auckland for the last America's Cup, but obviously got a history as a pretty incredible chef. You kind of used to be a pub landlord, then you kind of moved into sort of VIP hosting. Quality of food went through the roof, but you didn't have to care about calories or nutritional content.
No.
And then in the last America's Cup, you joined us, and you snapped into this athlete world.
Yeah, it was a bit strange, really, because sort of going from ordering gallons and gallons of cream and kilos of butter to do big VIP events around the world, doing like pizza, working on Volvos and stuff like that, and Grand Prix and things, and big car launches and stuff. You're not there to make people fit and healthy. You make them want to make them feel good with the calories and stuff. So so once I sort of picked up the baton here, it was a bit of an eye opener really for me, because I'd never done anything on that side of it before. So coming into it was quite interesting.
And you not only cater for our sort of 16 sailors, which we feel really lucky that we have a slightly tweaked menu to everyone else, but there's often up to 140 people on site that you and your amazing team. Shout out to your crew.
The crew are amazing.
The crew are amazing. You've got your sports science head on, your refueling, your fueling head on, everything that goes out on the water to keep us ticking along, stuff with Pete, but then you're also a catering for everyone else.
I think it's this week we're up to about 115, 120 this week. So, with the guys that come over from the UK and stuff. And so we're breakfast, lunch, dinner for the people that want dinner, and stuff. So, we say we do a breakfast, open up with a breakfast for the shore team and the support team. And then we do you guys a breakfast, which is obviously slightly different to get you where you need to be. And then we move into on the water lunches if we're sailing, which is sort of anything from 35 to 40 people on the water.
Yeah.
Then we're into
shore
lunch, which is, the rest of the people that are here, so another 70 people probably.
Then sailor recovery food.
The shore team have a little snack that we do them in the afternoon.
And then there's
and then dinners.
So that's 7 services.
Yeah, and then we have a night shift on at the moment as well for about 10 people.
And then you're catering for people to have a snack in the middle of the night if they're boat building.
Yeah,
so that's 8.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Mate, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And in the background, you're kind of having to order, to prep, to keep it interesting, to keep it healthy.
That's a battle, because obviously the guys are here up to 6-7 days a week. So trying to make sure that people aren't getting bored and is quite difficult. And we've got to eat
and a budget
healthy, and the budget.
Go on, just chuck out there the number. You've told me the number for feeding a person every day for those 3 meals.
It's roughly around. Matt Robinson will correct me on this, I'm sure. It's roughly about €12 a day we get per person, so it's not a huge budget now. So we have to be, creative. is a good description, but I think, but it's we make it work, and I think that's half the battle. We do a lot of making things from a lunch, we'll turn that into the wrap for the next day and things like that for on the water.
And you work with Pete,
Yeah.
getting these kind of philosophies, these ideas, these morning shakes is a great example of that.
Yeah,
right?
morning shake's a great example. So we've developed quite a few over the years, and just sort of making sure that they're different each day, and you're getting a different flavour, so you're not getting bored and you think, I don't want to drink that today because it's the same as we had yesterday or something like that. And the morning shakes with protein and
we have a chat about calories a little bit. Don't we?
we do,
Extra carbs at certain times, heavy training loads.
for the Cyclors and stuff.
So
definitely.
we modify it. We look at the amount of food they're going out and what we think they eat. Make some sort of calculations. Body weight trend's always a good one.
Yeah, right.
Big volume training, you tend to see dipped in body weight
Yeah.
a little bit. So it's good. We
Again,
work well together.
I think the guys manage it quite well, the sailors and the Cyclors themselves, to a certain extent, where if you need to dip or in weight or whatever, or lose some calories, you come off the carbs, or can I have more protein?
Yeah, they're fairly experienced athletes, aren't they?
I
Really,
think so,
they're not novices straight out of youth squad. I mean, that was 25 years ago, Fred.
Thanks for reminding me, buddy. I've just got to tell the story. We've alluded to it. You first did a fitness test on me in '98 when I was in my laser on my youth match racing days, and then I retested with you in 2004. I'd done One America's Cup. I was dabbling with Andy Beedsworth in the start, and I did a honking 4-minute maximal row test in Chichester Uni, where you still lecture to this day with a Douglas bag on. And anyone who's done a max test knows the drill. Anyway, I did all right, actually, which is probably why I'm still here today. I'm chipping away. And your comment to me was, you were like, "Oh, nice work, young Carl. You're pretty fit for a fat lad." And I was like, I've been living by that to this day.
I was harsh in my youth.
You were, yeah. But do you know what? I blocked out the negative, which was the chubby, and I was like,
take the positive.
All I heard was you're pretty fit.
Oh, you got good genes, Fred. We were talking earlier. You run marathons in 3.5 hour pace. I mean, not many people can do that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think
for a big guy.
Yeah, for a big lad.
Big guy running is not bad at all.
Bloody stubborn.
That's
mate.
impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, numbers now must be as good as they've ever been. Yeah.
Do you know they are, Pete? And I'm super happy. I'm 42, but in fact, let's move on to that. You've got such a wide range of athletes. I mean, you've got me at 42, holding on for dear life, but contributing to the boat and trying to get the drivetrain going, and then you've got these rowers that you've inherited that are super fit, and you're trying to adapt to cyclists. What a strange year.
Amazing difference with different people got here. I mean, I've been doing it for a long time, as we mentioned. I mean, some of the rowing guys. One guy, I won't name him because he'll get you know what he's like. But he's probably the best athlete I've ever worked with. You look at some of his data;
he's
it's
incredible,
just phenomenal.
Yeah,
and and I know he's he's not young. He's in his 30s. We got him from British rowing, and he's now contemplating whether he becomes a cyclist after this.
Wow.
He's seriously thinking about doing some competitive cycling, and it's phenomenal. And even the more traditional ex-grinder turned cycler, what they've done, they've gone from upper body athletes where you've all lost a bit of size on the upper body.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And turn yourselves into cyclists is pretty amazing. Because you can push all this oxygen around your system. It's the muscles that use it. So you've got to be able to train those specific muscles to use the oxygen that's being pumped around. And without a doubt, we've done a pretty reasonable job at it so far.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. We had our baselines for the numbers that we wanted to get from our sailing Cyclors and then from our non-sailing Cyclors, and we've just in the last 6 months we've just blown those out the window. But we're now in the world where we've only done 30 days of sailing on RB3, or Britannia as she's now been christened, and transferring that fitness onto the boat is your next challenge. We got to talk about the heat in Barcelona. It's such a topic, and Nick, I know you're involved with like cooling and keeping us chilled out and all that on the water, and let's call it race day nutrition and race day care for the Cyclors? That's a massive hot topic right now, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole sailing thing, the training was really nice and easy. It was all pretty organised, and then we started sailing. And then suddenly things get a little bit harder. You got a lot of, you can't just go on powers on the water because it's so, I'm sure everybody's the same. It's an intermittent event. The powers are up, powers are down. You can look at normalised power, but the actual, it's so different to cycling in the gym. Or on the road.
Yes,
and we obviously got, you mentioned it quickly there, Fred, the heat. It's not overly hot here yet. We all know how hot it can get, and we're already, we look a lot at core temperature.
Give some numbers away, because like we said, we're not hiding anything here.
We're certainly in the 40s, 40.3, 40.4.
And you get on the boat at 37, like normal.
Yeah, we're sort of, as long as you're in the air, like on the rib and stuff, it's actually quite cold. A bit of spray, bit of breeze. As soon as you get in your cycling pod, but obviously there's not much breeze.
No,
deliberately.
So
there's no cooling by evaporation. The sweat just tends to drip off you. You need a bit of breeze. It's a concern, and we know how much power numbers can go down. It's a pretty straight equation.
I would argue it's probably in 2024. It's probably the most unique sporting environment that you can operate in is out on one of these America's Cup boats.
Pretty unpleasant, isn't it? At least we're not sitting down backwards doing it. So like some teams, but we have a chat a little bit about powers and what we think other teams are doing. I don't know. I find recumbent cycling would be pretty difficult, I should imagine. You must end up sitting in a big pool of sweat.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously talking about American Magic, and we ran a whole loop on recumbent cycling. Did loads of studies, read all the data, and do you know what? I thought someone would go recumbent. When we say recumbent, we obviously mean sitting down and kind of those sit-down bikes that you've seen in the gym.
Sofa cycling,
and they're facing aft. And do you know what? I doff my cap to them for doing it. It's a real big move. And you speak to like the Paul Goodisons, who we both know well, and they're super happy with their decision. So more power to them. I think that's
quite a nice thing with the cup. Everybody, it's still only the second version of this rule.
Absolutely,
everybody sort of tries to find their own little niche. We've certainly been trying to find it. But we meant the temperatures a worry, and we've done a lot of work. We do a lot of pre-cooling. We've done a lot of acclimatization work over the winter, which thank God's finished. Nobody enjoyed that.
Are you happy to talk about that?
Yeah, it's too late not to talk about it. Right. No, but it's done and dusted. But we did a lot of in sweatsuits, pretty unpleasant environment.
It was revolting.
We pushed it quite hard. We normally it was a set power. Just let the thermal drift, the decoupling, just get you up to 80-85% of max heart rate. Stop the session.
Don't, mate.
As you overcook. And we did quite a bit of it, and I think it's paid dividends. No real data to say it hasn't.
No.
And no real data to say it has. But I think we cool pretty well. I think we manage our temperatures quite well out there. I know the medics are always very concerned about overheating and what the possible effects are and this sort of stuff. But I think we're managing okay. But everyone keeps saying, "Oh God, it's going to get hotter." It's so it is a worry.
Good luck with that, Fred.
But everybody's in the same boat. I think we're as such. I think we're doing okay.
Yeah. And Nick, when you inherit this group of slightly hot, slightly tired sailors back ashore. And it's like, right, okay, these guys have emptied themselves for a 4-hour sailing session. Let's just talk about training specifically right now. We're in your hands for refueling. What does that look like?
So when you come back off, we tend to give you a load of protein, don't we? And some carbs, really. Get your levels back up on that front. And then obviously they have shakes and stuff, don't they? Protein shakes.
We sort of start almost as soon as we can get our hands on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then ice slushy drinks and stuff when they come off the water, which you sort of look after, don't you? But
and before we do a little bit of pre-cooling. It's quite well. It's in the research quite a lot. Pre-cooling, the effects of pre-cooling. We're quite into that. And we do a lot. We try to cool people down. We post big days. We do ice baths. We don't do that often. We will do when we're racing. I think we'll do more. but we certainly try to get the nutrition in them.
It's different, isn't it? Because you have the Cyclors that need the protein and the carbs into them, and then the afterguard, who are trying to keep under a certain weight.
We've all got weight targets, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I think when we're sailing, we're sort of probably somewhere around 100 grams of carbs per hour, something like that. Mostly in gels and a little bit in food, but mostly in gels and drink. And different supplements.
We send out energy bars and homemade snacks and stuff.
The homemade stuff.
Homemade snacks are unreal.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's unreal, mate, because I, for one, I'm not a gel lover, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do, like, on a race day, I love a SIS gel. It's called Beta Fuel, and it's got nootropics in it, which is like a proper kick in the guts where you know you're going to get the best out of me for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I must say I struggle to sleep that night after I've taken it. It's like a night out in Ibiza on Red Bull. But it's brilliant. But what I actually love is when we're on a training day doing a couple of rotations and I'm sailing first and third, is diving into your little power balls and your energy balls where you've taken the time to really make something healthy for us. That's not a generic protein bar.
No, it really isn't. That's a lot of work gone into all of those, really, and a lot of development work where we've tried it hasn't worked, or making sure you guys like the taste of it, so you will eat it is another big challenge.
Yeah,
we can make something that's full of energy and gets you back up to those levels that you want, but if you're not going to eat it because it doesn't taste right or taste good, then there's no point in making it.
Yeah.
So there has been a lot of since I joined the team, the folder's gone from this to this of development work, and it's a big old folder, and we're still doing that. We're still developing. We started doing ginger and turmeric shots last week and stuff, which you look at a base recipe and then try and tune that to what we need.
An illness thing, is it? Is that trying to kick the illnesses away?
A little bit of immunity thing.
Yeah.
Lewis liked him, didn't he?
Lewis did like him. Yeah, I think he had 3.
Is that right?
Walking around like an illuminous fella.
Yeah, he's been going pretty well since he visited us. Maybe that was it.
Yeah,
and
maybe
George.
that's it. Yeah, George has done
in
that.
fact, Nick,
that's a
maybe
good point,
it's your
actually.
Put on your CV.
Yeah, maybe
cooking.
Maybe I'll give Toto a ring. He had 3 salads. That day.
Yeah, 3 salads. No wonder he did 1,500 watts.
Yeah, he was cracking out, wasn't he? Yeah.
Oh, so I should do 3 salads.
3 salads, yeah. You come and see me, we'll do your 3 salads.
3 salads, and
3 ginger and turmeric shots, mate, and you'll be away.
I think we've cracked the code here.
I think we have.
3 salads.
We'll throw the rest of the book in the salad, in the bin, in the salad.
Oh, my days. And Nick, obviously we had a great day with those Formula 1 guys.
Yeah.
Social media everywhere. Yeah. Love a bit of social media myself. You can't avoid experts on social media. And Pete, this is with you as well.
I'm not an expert.
You're not an expert in social media.
No,
you're a walking
this sofa is not the place for
Do you know
social
what?
media
I just looked at
expertise.
you two over there with your grey beards, and I thought, am I about to have a chat about social media?
If you said to me and
Please
Pete,
don't ask me about music either.
No, okay.
you said to me and Pete 10 years ago, we're going to be doing a podcast.
Exactly.
What's that?
I'm surprised you guys aren't reminiscing about CFAX or something like that.
Crikey,
Which for the younger listeners is
book your holidays.
We used to call Bart the Oracle, didn't we, in the old days?
That's right. I can't even remember where I was going there. How have we started talking about CFAX?
We've gone on a right tangent.
Because there's experts everywhere.
Yes.
You cannot pick up your phone
No.
without a nutritional expert telling you what to do. Nick, actually, I'm going to blow your trumpet here,
you,
so to
mate?
speak. You are a nutritional expert for a sports team. Is it basic or is it not?
I don't think I could describe myself as a nutritional expert. You might think I am, Freds, but I'm probably blagging it a little bit.
No,
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just what you know and how to cook and stuff, and learning over the years and stuff. And certainly since I've been working with the team and stuff, the things you start find out, and the learning from people like Pete and stuff, and other people that I've worked with over the years, it's really interesting for me, and it's an exciting thing to work in.
Yeah,
you can't get away from it. It's exciting when the cup comes around and you're watching it on the telly in the canteen with the shore team, and we're all sitting there on tenterhooks, and that's 3-4 years, whatever it is, we've put effort into that. Watching the boys go out there and race and try and run for us. They're not just doing it for yourselves, you're doing it for us.
Well, I'd say, probably the 2 most important things on recovery is sleep and nutrition. And you know, the nutrition side's massive. Yeah, you don't sleep.
Yeah,
Fred,
I don't
do you?
sleep.
Yeah. So, but
And you like Haribo.
I remember when I
trouble,
first
aren't you?
started, I said to Ben Williams, I said, look at Fred. You know, he only sleeps 4 hours a night, and Ben said, "Oh yeah, that's pretty normal for Fred."
Yeah.
And I thought, "Oh my goodness!"
Like
I really
Margaret
do something
Thatcher.
about it.
Apparently, Margaret Thatcher only used to sleep 4 hours a night, and she ran a country.
What was she doing the rest of the time?
I was waiting for the first.
Again, there's a lot of people who won't know who that is.
I've been told not to do dad jokes. She's dead now, isn't she?
That's not a good
bless her.
shout.
That's not quite right.
Oh, Cam, I don't know where to go with that. We're talking about the sex life of Margaret Thatcher.
How many kids have you got, Fred?
Yeah, I've only got 2. Oh, wow. I think we're going to have an edit at that point. Oh. Right.
Let's move on there.
Let's go back to the nutritional bit.
So, Pete, recovery and readiness. How do you measure it on us? How do you measure how recovered and ready we are to go and perform the next day?
Yeah, I look at, obviously we get a lot of metrics off Training Peaks. We'll use wearables, whether it's an Oura ring or you use Whoop.
The old Whoop, yeah, I love the Whoop.
We use some of us use the Fenix, the
Yep.
Garmin Fenix. So we get quite a lot from that. Simple things are quite looking at, like resting heart rate. They tends to increase when something's not quite right.
Yeah.
So very simple. We look at HRV. We look at the oxidative stress that you go through, which is this finger prick with the Orico guys.
When you add it all together,
we get quite a strong algorithm on it. When you put it all together, and I always say we've got no golden nuggets on the training side. We train properly. We're quite scientific about it. We do the right thing, even if it's sometimes for me hard to tell you what the right thing is. I always tell you, I don't sort of pander away and sort of, I'm not a softy. I'm very much, this is what we need to be doing.
Yeah.
But probably the most important thing is making sure we stay healthy.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the teams have had a little bit of COVID.
Yeah, there's
bit going around, and we measure CRP on all body inflammatory response on a regular basis, and that tends to pick up that sort of stuff. But that's always my worry is we're probably fit enough to do what we want to do.
Yep.
We could always be fitter.
Yeah.
They can move the traveller a bit more. They always want more oil.
Man. Yeah.
As you know. But we're fit enough to race and do pre-starts. My concern is if we get a bout of illness.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've got one lad who really hasn't trained for 4 weeks, just making a comeback now. It's 1 out of 9. Which I think we've got away with it quite lightly, and that's my big worry is the recovery.
I think that's again is nutrition again, isn't it? And making sure, like you say about them sleeping and recovery and stuff, but feeding them and stuff. Travel's
quite nice. We're based here. We've got obviously conflict a little bit. Same as the other teams. Cell GP's not. It's a great spectacle, but it's it drags the guys. 3 of the guys around the world.
They're never pinging after a sale, regardless of result.
Yeah,
They're never pinging the week they come.
You look at their recovery markers. They fly to New Zealand and they never recover before the CLGP regatta. They fly home and then we just slowly look at the recovery markers over the next week.
Yeah.
Even when you see them come back and eat, their appetite isn't what it was or before.
Is that right? Do you notice that?
Yeah.
So are you like tracking my appetite and food intake always?
Oh Christ, mate!
Hide that bread.
The list is like you get those comic lists where just the paper keeps on rolling.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's massive, mate.
I am the problem child.
we got to compare notes a bit more, Nick, because I think I've got similar sort of notes to you.
Oh my goodness!
Get the old chalkboard
you're a
out.
diesel engine, Fred. You go 400 watts for as long as you can, and you go for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, that's very kind of you, mate. I really bloody try. Pete, what's the biggest thing you've changed? So we've already said you've been in sports science since the mid-90s. Here we are 30 years later. My goodness. Is it the kind of athlete training? Yes, there's been tweaks in training styles, be it kind of how you split up your aerobic versus your anaerobic and ways of measuring that power. Is the biggest leap you've seen in the last, let's say, decade, is it the measurables? Is it the recovery? Is it the nutrition? Because you hear Tadej Pogacar's coach, he's redefining cycling right now.
Yeah,
and they put a lot of that on his nutrition.
They got some amazing freaks in the cycling world. I mean, they're phenomenal at what they do. We got really high absolute powers, but we don't have massive power to weights. I think my rationale is I'm very much into zone 2.
Yeah. Long and steady.
Yeah, long and steady, setting a really good base, and that takes time. And I think even the guys from rowing who've come in, I'd say they've gained a lot by doing. They do a lot in rowing. I don't know whether they call it UT1 or UT2. I always get the two model UT1. I think we've gained a lot by doing that this winter. I mean, we had pretty good numbers at end of the Grenadiers camp. In Mallorca.
That's right.
In December, we had some pretty good numbers then, and that was even before we started getting into race pace stuff and lactate threshold type stuff. And I think my rationale is I think a lot of people underestimate the importance of that zone 2.
Yeah.
The 80-20, the polarized sort of program.
Yeah.
We're quite into it. I mean, and cycling's quite nice because every day with your power meters, every day's a fitness test. You get a lot of data.
What do you mean by that then?
We get your power, we get your heart rate, we look at drift, we take a lot of lactates, as you know. Your ears take a hammering. So we get a lot of data, and almost from every ride if we wanted to. We were talking a little bit this morning about are we going to do fitness tests before the Cup? And I always said my one regret at Artemis is we didn't fitness test when I thought the guys in Bermuda Artemis were really flying, and we went into that Cup in great shape. And I always regret we didn't do fitness tests on everybody. I gave it to, and I don't know. I'd love to do a fitness test. I don't know whether I'm going to with you guys. I don't know, but almost don't have to, because every time you do a session. On a bike, on a watt bike, on a Tack, on your road bike, we get so much data. It's almost like a fitness test.
Well,
so you look at heart rate, you look at drift, you look at power output, you can look at the intervals.
And you didn't have that back then.
No, and with arm grind, you didn't really have it. We all had we had one signed really good arm grinder at Artemis, an SRM based arm grinder. All the rest was they were good arm grinders, but I don't know how accurate the powers were. But we. It's nice working in cycling, and I know when we transferred from arm grinding to cycling, I'd prefer it to go back to arm grinding because I think I had a pretty good niche with the arm grinding sort of culture, and the volumes, the upper body, the shoulders can maintain. When cycling, I'd say cycling's been. I wouldn't say it's been easy. I think the training side's been pretty straightforward.
There's a lot of data there already, right?
Yeah, and even with predecessor, Ben did a pretty good job. He selected some good athletes. And I sort of got in. I was always sort of, when Gov texted me and sort of
Gov
said,
being Ben,
he texted me and said, would you be interested in coming working for us? I had no idea what Ben Williams was up to at the time. And it was always one of those sort of things I thought, crikey, it's quite a hard project to step into, because you'd already, from the outside looked at you in Auckland. You did a great Cup there, physiology-wise.
We're in good nick.
You're and I always sort of dreaded it almost, sort of stepping in. It's easy if you go and step in somewhere where you think that it's a shambles. Like if you're a coach and you go and step into Manchester United, you probably do quite a good job, for example. But I was always...
Well, that's what Jim and the INEOS boys are doing now. They're turning it around.
But you step in here, and it was always in the back of my mind when I was having the initial chats with Ben, thinking, crikey, I've got pretty big shoes to fill here. And I don't know, I think we've done all right in the last year. I've only been here a year, and I think we've gone the right way.
Absolutely. I mean, and the biggest thing now, our biggest challenge, call it challenge, it is a challenge for everyone, is taking all the fitness that we've got through nutrition, being looked after so well, the recovery, the good training programs, and chucking it on that boat and making sure that we are crushing that. And that for me, being kind of a bit of a veteran guy in the sailing team, that's where I feel I'm coming in now. I can kind of link from what we're doing with you guys to chucking it on the boat, to talking to the afterguard, to trying to piece the whole thing together. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, it's an interesting project. I'd love to talk to after the Cup, talk to other people in my position in other teams, and sort of. But you never do. when football, you can see what goes on and how much, but it's a secret world, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the same for me. You sort of look around and think, I wonder what they're doing in each team, feeding them.
Do you see yourself now, Nick, as a sports nutritionist? Are you now, obviously we're going to keep rumbling here and it's going to be great, but would you now go and reach out to other sports teams, reach out to, like, you've got so much
you've got a good knowledge base, haven't you now, Nick? Amazing.
Do you know what, Fred? I'd never really thought about it, to be honest. You're sort of head down at the minute, isn't it? And as everyone is, and it's difficult to know. And now you've said it to me, maybe, I don't know. I don't.
You're not your typical pub landlord anymore.
No, that's gone.
People would order a pint of some nuts and you'd go, are you sure you want those nuts?
I wouldn't have any business, mate.
You'd be, you're grumpy at the best of times.
Oh, thanks, mate. Do you think so?
Yeah. If you were like telling people off for having some
nuts. You can't have a pint of beer with that. No. I don't know.
Not your typical.
I know. That's a good quote, that.
Who knows?
Don't know. Who knows? I'd like to think so. I'd like to think I've got a good knowledge base and stuff now. And after how many years has it been? Nearly 5 years.
Oh yeah, I'd say more.
More maybe.
You're very self-deprecating, buddy.
Well, thank you. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I think I know what I'm doing from a chef's point of view, and I sort of know now where to go with nutrition. I think with the backup of Pete and Hoppo, and obviously Ben Williams before and Pinky before that, and it's been great working with those guys and sort of getting an understanding of it. And I think now, maybe there is something to do after this, or I'll go again. I don't know. Who knows?
I think you'd be an asset in any sports team, Nick. Without doubt.
That's very kind.
You see jobs like that.
You
do, yeah.
30.
He is, isn't he? He's not normally this kind.
No, he's not normally this kind.
Have extra salad tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you can have as much salad as you like.
What are you angling for here, Pete?
No, but it's true. You don't come across quality people all the time.
No, it's true.
And
thank you.
Do
Well, I think it's the world we work in and the people we work with, isn't it? So I think it's all bouncing off each other. Really. So.
Cool. Do you know what? Let's put a pin in this love in. To be honest, it's getting
quite like us, isn't it? Really, so, quite like me.
Hey, Pete, you're doing a great job too. Because I don't feel like you.
Yeah, you're not getting enough credit there.
You're cool, blimey. Right, stop. Let's park the serious stuff.
Yeah, nice.
We're going to do some quickfire questions.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Pete, try and be PC, okay?
Well,
I've been on a dinner table with him.
Yeah. This is where Cam is going to be editing.
Yeah.
A lot. I feel like this segment could be 30 seconds long, but hey, we're celebrating the characters in the team. Nick, you are a sailor. We've not mentioned that yet.
Yeah, I am a sailor.
Shout out to your sailing club, please.
Oh yeah, big up the Avon SC. Whoop whoop.
Avon FC.
SC.
FC, not a football club.
Not
sailing
football
club.
club. Yeah, Dan, we're river based, so we can sail to the pub.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's great.
What do you sail?
I got a laser.
Where is the laser currently? I know the answer to this question.
It's on my mate's farm.
When was the last time you sailed said laser?
A year and a half ago, probably.
Now, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of you sailing lasers. You always look very angry when you're sailing. Yeah. Are you a cross sailor? Yeah. You seem like a shouter to me.
I am a shouter.
Are you?
Yeah, you'd ask anyone down there.
Really?
I like a scream run at Windward Mark.
Have you got enough knowledge of the rules that you are shouting the rules legitimately, or are you making them up in your head?
Bit of both, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's young kids in the way, I'd shout anything at them.
Are you still calling like Master Beam that rule
No,
from the 90s?
No, I'm not. I'm not on your Master and Commander stuff yet.
My next question is your, and I haven't got a problem with this because I celebrate sort of colour. Is your laser like a green or a red, or is it a white? It's a white laser.
It's a reasonably new one.
So you haven't got a multicoloured sail?
No, mate.
Okay, I'm just setting
Jesus
my own
Christ.
expectations.
I know I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Okay, all right. Do you wear hiking shorts?
No.
You should get hiking shorts, buddy.
No.
You can't go around shouting at people if you're not wearing hiking shorts.
Not like on a regular basis. I mean, if it's burning its off, I might have. Yeah.
Which means windy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Means windy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But on a river, you've got to be pretty agile because you're running out of water pretty quick.
Well, that's unfortunately, I do not put you into the agile bracket.
No, that's a very good point. Yeah, the knees aren't as good as they used to be.
So, Nick, to ask the first quickfire question, as we're proving it's not quickfire, you're going to sail. You can sail anywhere in the world.
Ooh.
Where are you sailing? Is it on the Avon?
Do you know what? I miss it. So it probably is with my mates.
Yeah, you're dusting off the laser.
Dusting off the laser, or the 200, the RS 200.
Who crews for you in the 200?
Oh, just anyone I can get my hands on down there, really.
So, Nick, as you said, You're a laser sailor.
Yeah.
You're a bit of a shouter. You don't wear hiking shorts.
No.
And you've got to be agile, which you're not.
Yeah.
Pete, you're a tidy wind or were a
Yeah,
tidy
I used to
windsurfer.
windsurf a little bit.
A speed windsurfer.
I used to
right?
speed windsurfing in the day.
Down at the Witterings and Hayling Island and
Yeah, West Kirby, Saint-Marie, the canal in France. Went to there a few times.
did
the
you
Dugout
actually do
Canal.
proper speed runs?
Yeah,
What's your top speed?
40 odd knots,
Isn't
low
it?
40s,
Is
over
it?
500 metres.
No, you kept that quiet. You
Yeah,
kept that very quiet.
So a few people know, but not many. I keep it quiet. I don't go. Last time I windsurfed was Bermuda.
Right.
So Bermuda was nice.
And we're obviously talking traditional wind. You're not a foiling windsurfer.
No,
or any of
I've
that stuff.
never done any foiling stuff.
Right.
Don't think it'll ever take
40
off.
odd knots. And that's in the famous that's in that famous trench over in France.
in Saint-Marie. Yeah.
Mate.
So,
I never
in
knew
the old
that.
days.
I mean,
I've got old school stuff. I remember Dave Ending did nothing but rip me apart for
really?
my kit.
Are
in
we
Bermuda.
talking like 80s day glow stuff here?
No, it's not quite that bad,
No,
but
the
it's
Mistral.
quite nice. Old starboard stuff, starboard
Oh,
ice
yeah,
sonics,
yeah.
that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
good kit, good
it's
kit
a nice kit, but pretty dated. I remember Dave taking the mick out of me, and I think I went out, did 1 or 2 runs, come back in, packed it all away, and that was it.
Really?
Sort of,
He just demoralised you?
Yeah, just blown everyone off the water, come in, pack my
Oh,
stuff away.
really? Oh,
So
one
it's
of
good.
those.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yes, Pete.
That was a
I
few
love
years
that.
ago.
When was the last time you windsurfed Bermuda? You're going to get the kids into windsurfing
Yeah,
and
I
sailing
got a starboard go.
Yeah, okay.
For Harry, just trying to get a decent kids rig for him. So, but he tried sailing, he didn't like it. He went out and the Chichester Harbour. It was 20 odd knots.
Good first day.
Something like a wayfarer, wind against tide, and it was pretty rough. And I think he spent most of the time in the safety boat. He said he loved the safety boat.
Yeah, okay. So he's going to be into ribs, not into sailing boats.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get him windsurfing.
Oh, good man. And for you, where are you sailing? I mean, you have been associated with teams all around the world, really, with
Crikey.
Olympics. Where's your?
Yeah.
Here's a question: your favourite Olympic cycle and why?
Probably the Sydney cycle. I've places like Melbourne. There was the ISAF, the World Championships running into Sydney. Must have been '99. I thought Melbourne was stunning. Never been back since.
Right.
We were there for a month for the ISAF Worlds, and that was Melbourne Harbour was a stunning place to go sailing.
And the Sydney cycle, from a British point of view, was unreal.
Yeah, I was just as I was sort of finishing my PhD. My PhD was on single-handed sailing,
Right.
and I can remember, we had Shirley who won the Europe. Ben won the laser and the gold, and Perce won the fin.
And
so all
then
three single-handed
We
on one
got
goal.
Ian Walker, Mark Cavell, silver in
Yeah,
the
they
Star.
got silver in the Star. Obviously, they joined up. Their story, how they both got together, sailing together in the Star, was pretty unique.
Yes, absolutely.
obviously
Before
John-
tragedy, really.
Yeah, it
wasn't
was. Yeah, but a pretty nice end to a sad story.
Yes.
Who else got this?
49ers?
Oh yeah, Billy, and
They've got
was it
silver?
Ian Bark and Hiscock's got silver there?
I feel like we're missing someone else, which would be 3 golds, 2 silvers.
Yeah, I think so. Nick Rogers, I think, came 4th in the
Yeah, okay.
470. I think
Yeah.
Nick and Joe. So old days.
Yeah, wow.
So, but that was probably it was the first time British sailing had done really well on the world stage in sailing.
Do you know it
was pretty phenomenal.
there's very few times I've seen my dad cry. And the night that all those medals came in, he was heavily involved in British sailing.
Yeah.
At that time, he cried for hours.
Wow.
It was a pretty special.
Yeah, it
day
was, yeah.
I think it reset where British sailing. We'd had such a bad Atlanta '96 with 2 silvers, with Johnny and Ian and Ben getting his silver in the
that's
laser,
right.
to then make that colossal leap forwards in 4
It
years.
was phenomenal, wasn't it?
We're probably all here, roughly on the back of that
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah.
You could argue.
It's when money, proper money got invested in the RYA, in the, through UK Sport,
Yeah,
the lottery
that's right.
funding was online.
That's right.
And it transformed. British cycling went through the same sort of passage.
Trajectory, yeah.
You look back.
Right, well, we're going to kind of carry on with this theme. We're all sports nuts across all sports. Nick, you can go back in history and watch any sporting moment. What are you watching? It won't be Spurs winning a trophy.
Well, it might be, because we're not going to see that.
No, well, then maybe you
very
should go and watch
soon.
Tottenham win a trophy back in the day, because they're not going to win one in the
60s.
next few years.
60s double. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a good question, that, Fred. Well, we're playing in the Euros at the moment, aren't we? I do like my football, but well, that or 66 World Cup, or maybe watch the Bodyline series in the cricket, the
yes.
Ashes series, something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. I'm a
Okay.
big cricket fan through my granddad and stuff. So.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And Pete, you're a massive cricket man.
Yeah,
aren't
mine would be cricket. I mean, of recent years, it'd probably be the 50 over World Cup in 2018. Went to the Super Over against New Zealand. We shouldn't have won it, but we did.
Yeah,
I was working there.
Were you?
That day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
At Lords.
At Lords, yeah.
Oh, were you? Really?
Was that off the? Could you enjoy it, or were you working? Or?
We sort of got out and sort of down the nursery and got.
Are you
just
kidding
by
me? You snuck out of work to watch the Super Over?
Yeah. Well, we were watching it on the screen.
Okay.
We couldn't get anywhere near
That
the
must have
stand.
been.
Yeah, the atmosphere was
real
unreal.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
How that was when Ben Stokes dived to get back in his crease, hit his bat and went for 4.
Yeah.
All of that shenanigans.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah, my
buzz
young
around
son
there,
watched it recently on YouTube or something.
Really?
Yeah, he was mesmerised by it. He knows all about it. If you ask him, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that's modern sort of stuff. Old stuff would probably be in probably cricket. It'd be the Aussies Test series and
Anything where we beat the Aussies.
Yeah, be in the 70s when Alan Knott was playing.
Okay.
That sort of era. It's I always quite like the wicket keepers. I used to do a bit of wicket keeping.
I would wind back. I'm a cricket nut as well. I'd go back 05 Ashes and watch that Flintoff over, the perfect over.
Yeah.
Outswinger, in-swinger, get out.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. Right, Pete, back to you. Training programs. Who's like the least compliant? Who's your problem child? Or are we all
Cyclors?
Yeah, why not?
I can't say the Gov, can I? Probably
You can't
gonna
say Gov. I mean, the Gov's triple busy.
He's pretty good.
But to be fair, Gov is in at 6:30 every morning.
I was in early this morning, and I just made him a cup of tea, popped down. Ben was ready on the cross train in the corner. We pushed his cross train into the corner. I feel a bit sorry for Gov.
Yeah, he looks a bit sad in that corner.
He's tucked away, isn't he?
I never know he's in there, so I come in with a gag or something.
Yeah,
and
problem child.
You come in with a non-funny and have
thanks,
a clanger.
mate. Yeah,
Got to keep tabs on Corn Dog.
Yeah.
He's easily led astray.
But what we say about Ben Cornish rings true. Cornish wins at life. He can still go out and enjoy a glass of wine.
Yeah.
He can still enjoy a round of golf. And he's ridiculously fit and powerful.
Yeah, he's good with dust, isn't he? But that catches you up as you get older.
Yeah.
So he's still got youth on his side.
That will
So,
fall
yeah,
very soon,
Yeah, I think compliancy is pretty good. They don't really have any problem children at training, really.
Yeah,
I've got 2
good.
problem children at home, but not here.
Yeah, fair enough. Nico, you are preparing a wine and dine evening for anyone in history. It's a bit of a rattled old question.
Wow.
Got 3 people around for dinner. Who are they? Enjoying some of your
Blimey,
protein.
that's another good one, isn't it, Fred?
Don't say Margaret Thatcher.
I think she's busier for a dinner, isn't she?
Oh my goodness! Richard Margaret Thatcher.
Do you know what? I sort of thought, who would I like to have dinner with? I think this has come through my mind.
Quickfire
Is it Quickfire? Right, sorry, I'm just thinking. Isambard Kingdom Brunel is going to be there because I just think he's amazing.
The engineer guy.
The engineer guy.
Ooh.
That's deep.
I know it's deep, isn't it?
Yeah,
but I
good,
just, you go and see what he's done over the years, and quite impressed by some of his stuff.
Only a man of a certain generation would say that. I respect
Yeah,
it.
well, thanks, mate. And then probably a couple of sporty people.
Go on.
Who am I going to have? Glenn
Sporting
Hoddle.
hero, Glenn Hoddle.
Glenn Hoddle. Graham Hick. As a Worcester born
Really?
and bred cricketer, he's was a hero of mine when I was growing up, and
I love that.
and
South African, wasn't he?
Zimbabwean.
Zimbabwe, was he?
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
So,
but when go and watch him whack a ball
phenomenal.
around New Road at Worcester, and it's something to behold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd have him around for dinner.
Yeah, that's a pretty unique.
Quite mixed up, isn't
that
it?
is. Yeah, that is.
I don't know how the conversation would
Interesting
flow.
dinner.
Well, badly if you're involved.
Thanks, mate.
Right, campaign update, Pete. We'll go to you specifically here. We are looking down the barrel. We're kind of beginning of July now, and racing is really close. What does it look like for training for you? Are you shifting us more into a race mode, taperings, all that world? Where are we?
Yeah, we had a quick chat this morning about tapering, didn't we? We had 6-7 weeks to go. We're probably just going to start thinking about tapering, putting the icing on the cake, really. The work's been done. It's just a little bit at the end now, really, and then the taper in. It's a long period. We start racing the 29th of August. Hopefully, we're still racing towards the end of October.
That'd be nice.
So it's a long period.
Yeah.
So, but we everything's aimed for the end of August at the moment for us.
And is it a hard balance for you for the amount of effort we put in on the water versus how much you try and get us to do in the gym, and finding that balance between quality training in the gym and also relevant training on the water?
The on-water stuff's interesting. With the efficiencies of the systems, all this sort of stuff comes into play. Trying to find the balances. We've certainly dropped the gym training a little bit. As now we're sailing. you do 4 or 5 hours on the water. You probably do a 2-hour shift. It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
We're trying to monitor that. We don't have an electronic. We don't. Had some of the other teams have like an e-bike. We don't at the moment. We're proper training. It's a bit of a concern, but we're
learning a lot though.
We're
That's
learning
great.
a lot.
And we're
We're
not
holding
burning
it well.
out.
We're certainly not
absolutely.
fatigued. We're not walking around dragging our shoes. We're doing okay. But it's peaking now, peaking and tapering.
Yeah, right. Okay, lads. As you know, final bit of the pod is around grit, rigour, and humour. An INEOS mantra. Now, we're all slightly long in the tooth, us three. We've obviously very nostalgic and experienced in our fields. I want you to give me a life lesson, be it from sailing, be it from sport, be it from anything, that kind of fits in around the grit, rigour, humour theme that resonates with you, that you have learned from, and you try and bring to this high stress kind of high performance sporting team on a daily basis.
Who's going first?
Nick, the fact that it took you half an hour to do the quick fire question.
You want me to have a think?
You go over there, have a little think.
You make a few notes, Nick.
I'll have a little sleep as well.
Yeah. I can see the cogs whirring.
My grit one is a lesson in life. It changed my career. So when I left school, I didn't want to go to university. I just wanted to go and earn some money. So I become a navigator in the Merchant Navy. Worked for Shell.
No way.
I did that for 6 or 7 years, and then I got shot in Puerto Rico.
Hang on a minute.
Got mugged and shot in the middle of the day.
Hang on a minute. You've been shot.
Do you not know that? Got a few lads. Yes, I got mugged. What was it? Must have been 22, 23.
Right.
Talk
me through it.
So we're in a oil tanker, Shell oil tank in the back of the harbour in San Juan in Puerto Rico, and I knew it was a pretty rough place. I got to the supermarket and there was an armed guard in a crow's nest outside the supermarket. Thinking, crikey, we're not in a good part of town here. And on the way back, I obviously bought some bits in the supermarket, mostly chocolate. I used to like chocolate in those days. This was before I did my sports science stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
And I got mugged on the way back by some local lads. Probably kids sort of 15, 16. And my lesson on it was don't mess with the locals sort of ring. I should have just given the stuff over.
Oh, did you fight back?
Oh, we had a little bit of argy-bargy, and then he pulled a gun out of his big Bermuda shorts. He pulled a gun out. I thought, is it a real gun? I'd never seen a gun. It was a real gun, yeah. So
whereabouts on your anatomy did you get shot?
In the old love handles.
Oh,
went in one side, out the other side. Jesus. So
in the love handle.
In the love handles.
Have you still got a scar? I don't want to see it, but is there?
This isn't the place for that, Fred.
No. But can you? I mean, can you show young Harry your scar?
Yeah, I probably could.
Look,
yeah,
Harry, Dad's been shot.
Yeah, so but it changed my career. So after that, I didn't really want to be at sea anymore. I was doing all right. I was second officer at the time, on oil tankers and stuff. And so after that, I think I did one more trip, and then I went home after that. After I got shot, got paid off, went back to the UK, had a bit of time off. Milked it a little bit, sick leave. Yeah. And my doctor had never seen anyone being shot, so I could say, I still don't feel very well. Kept signing me off. And then I think I did one more trip, and then I went to university and started sports science. That's how I got into sports science.
Right. So it's kind of like a
change of a career,
a massive sliding doors moment. That
but don't mess with the locals.
Don't mess with the locals. I was trying to pick the lesson out of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
don't mess with the locals. Wow, Nick, have you ever been shot?
No. And I don't think I could follow that.
No, I reckon you can, mate.
Mine's probably more grit, I think. Really, I've done some long shifts in the catering trade,
and here, man,
and here, yeah. And, we went to do the Ryder Cup in Scotland and pulled for 2.5 weeks. Me and this other lad, shout out to Timmy, and we pulled some long days. 3 hours sleep.
Really?
Getting back up, getting up and doing the shift again. Then we flew to Glasgow after it. We got on a plane the next morning and flew to Alicante to do the Volvo and pulled 3 18-hour, 20-hour days between a brigade of about 6 or 7 of us. And it was, you could see there's a picture of us somewhere. I think we've all got a copy of it somewhere. And we stood around this with a beer in our hands at the end of it, and we looked dead.
Yeah.
We looked dead. But as a team spirit, as a lad's getting through it, we pulled together and it was massive. I think me and Tim worked out our daily rate over those 4 weeks.
Oh, don't do that.
£2.56 or something stupid. It was ridiculous.
Like hourly rate.
£2.56 or something.
But if you're in it
At the
I mean,
time.
it's a lot like when you go through ups and downs in this environment when you're in it with the right people.
Yeah,
And you're all
exactly.
trying to achieve the same thing.
Yeah.
And you're all pulling together. It's kind of fine.
Yeah.
And it's almost a little bit funny.
You look at it now, and we have a right laugh about it. We catch up with each other every now and then, and we still talk about it. But it was hard work, and you look at it and you think, what were we doing?
Yeah.
Why were we doing it? But he just had to. We had no choice because it wasn't going to get done otherwise.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we're going to look, none of us, like you say, you just crack on, don't you?
Yeah,
and get on
own
with
your
it.
area. Make sure it's bloody
And,
good.
and make
Crack
sure
on.
we get it out. And we did, as a whole team, a massive, great job on the Ryder Cup and the start of the Volvo. The Volvo is always notoriously Alicante stopover.
The ocean race,
The ocean race.
Yeah, right.
Was I think they get something like 25,000 people a day through the gate at Alicante.
Oh my days!
It's ridiculous.
I tell you what,
Ridiculous.
we're gonna see numbers that dwarf that down here.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate.
I think we're gonna see numbers that
I think you're
dwarf
right.
that down
There's a lot
here
of
this
people
summer.
coming, isn't there?
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people coming. Not just locals, but
No.
fans as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I genuinely think this summer is going to redefine what a sailing regatta looks like.
Yeah.
But
Interesting, definitely.
we shall see. Hey,
We can
gents.
probably make your days a bit longer based on that story here. So.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm on half a day.
I'll keep
When
that
they
on
say I'm on
quiet.
half a day, I sort of think to myself, so actually, some of the days I've done, they probably are half days. Yeah.
All seems a little bit easy here, Nick. If you can work that hard, you should do that again.
I was
25
a
hours
bit
a
younger then, mate. Bit younger.
Right, legends. I think that's enough Lantin swinging there.
Yeah,
I'd
nice.
say Cam, our producer, has got his work cut out editing that
A
all
lot of
together.
editing
Bless
to do
him.
there.
But like I said, chaps, it is. I often feel uncomfortable. I'm a sailor. I'm not an athlete. In my head, always. You two are a massive part of the reason why we've made this shift into this aerobic sport, this explosive power sport from a cyclor and an athlete point of view. And we are athletes. We do have to consider ourselves athletes, and we're really well looked after by you guys. And we're extremely, extremely lucky to have you and your ever-growing knowledge base.
Thank
Say,
you.
like
Cheers,
I said,
Fred.
Pete, you
Cheers,
burn the
mate.
calories out of me, and Nick, you
Yeah.
put the calories back in. and
Yeah, with a wooden.
I'm probably not the best example sitting here right now. I'm not the Calvin Klein model in the team, but there's some bloody impressive boys, and
Yeah.
that's thanks to you lot. So yeah, nice work, and
Thanks, Fred.
as always, get on and like and subscribe to the podcast. They're coming at you thick and fast. Follow us on the socials. We'll have to get Chef Nick on the socials.
Oh, yeah.
Doing little bits and bobs with the recipes, and let's get your power balls going on there because they're
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah,
That's
we've
a
done-
proper
we,
little
we did
hack.
it last cup, didn't we? I think a little bit.
Yeah.
And I
You're
was
on
doing some
Instagram.
from home.
Yeah,
You're on
yeah.
Instagram, Nick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? I didn't know that.
You two are
Did you
probably
not?
on MySpace or something like that.
No.
Very good. We're going to leave it there.
I didn't say what else we could be on. That's not us.
Goodness gracious
Facebook, that's
me.
it, that's it. Facebook.
Oh,
Is going on.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Right,
sorry.
we're going to leave it there. And we'll see you next time on the Inside Tack.